Hello and welcome to my channel, J.I. Colourist. My name is Jody and I'm thrilled to have you here today to look at and go over my 2024 January completed pages and crafts. I have 3 crafts and we will do those at the end of this video. We're kind of taking turns between each month. I just have this over top of my, so that it's not so shiny. This is my coloring journal or coloring planner for 2024. So let's flip to January. So far the calendar is working out really well. Happy with the layout. So I've got the calendar, I've got some research for the gems of the month and some notes. I've got my color alongs and buddy colors, and then I have 2 pages of completed pages before it starts on the next month. So I'm really pleased with how this is working out so far. Some stats for the month include 25 completed pages, 3 crafts, 1 being a sticker page, and 12 videos, which is a whole lot, but not as many as December. So it was actually a good month, and I have had a chance to pre-film 2 videos for February already because I will be traveling shortly, so we'll get into that in a few minutes. As for subscribers, I would like to welcome 102 new subscribers and fellow colorists to the channel. So welcome, hello, so glad to have you here. We ended the month with 2,042 subscribers, so that's awesome. Because we have hit 2,000, I did also want to announce a giveaway. So what I will do is in the video description there will be a Google Doc which you will go and sign up for the giveaway. All you do is enter a email that actually is a valid email, and later in February, so at the end of the month, I'm going to give everybody a full month to sign up, and I will include the sign up on a few videos throughout the month so that you don't forget. In case you don't see this video, you'll catch it on another. Okay, let's go on and start looking at completed pages. I did do 5 buddy colors this month, so you will see 5 buddy colors. And here is the pages. I am going to be doing this in order of size though, so let's get started with our smallest book, which is a new book to me that I got for Christmas. Thank you to my son and daughter-in-law. And this is Johanna Basford's Small Victories. We're going to start right at the beginning with this. So this year I'm also participating in a challenge, and I'll grab the challenge sheet. This year I'm doing last year's coloring challenge checklist by Color and Chat with Sammy. I will list her channel in the video description. And what we decided to do, so I'm doing this with Cindy, is number 15. We colored a title page, and so I did this title page, and I used Tombow twin tone fine liners, a little bit of gel pen, and then to glitz it up I put Mod Podge Extreme glitter on top of everything, so that's why it's shiny and sparkly. So yeah, happy to do it, and I wanted to test out these Tombow twin markers to see if they would bleed through, and I'm happy to say that there is no bleed through and not even any ghosting. So that was a success. Then went and had a couple of buddy colors, and this one here, and I will put Nikki's on screen in a moment. So this was a buddy color with Nikki from Nicnaccolours from Instagram, and she is also a subscriber here on the channel. So hello Nikki, she lives in New Zealand, and happy to have a page done with her. I was using the Holbein design set of pencils, so I have a very limited set of pencils. In fact, I'll grab them for you. So this is the Holbein 12 color set that I have. It's the design tone set, and these are the colors in the set. So these were the ones that I was working with to complete this page. I did ended up needing to pull in some browns from my polychromos though, because there are absolutely no browns in this design set. So I thought that was kind of an interesting choice. But happy to play with these. A little bit of gel pen here, and then I used on the clouds. The clouds are distressed crayons from Tim Holtz, and I dry brushed them on using a cloud stencil. So happy with how it turned out. A couple of the clouds I just did like freeform, but otherwise I used a stencil on some of them with my smallest cloud stencil. And here is Nikki's page. Thank you so much, Nikki, for joining me in coloring this new book, Small Victories. Our next page from this book is also a buddy color, and this was a buddy color with Cindy Visor. She is also on Instagram, and she is also a subscriber here. And we did this cute little turtle. I used polychromos, gel pens, Pitt Artist pens, cloud stencil again for the clouds, and a little bit of twin tone Tombow markers. So a little bit of gel pen, kind of reflective there. And here is Cindy's page. Thank you, Cindy. We have another buddy color that is coming up in a couple of pages, so you will see some more work done by Cindy. Thank you, Cindy. The next book in size is the Disney's Hachette Heroes Grand Classics. It's the mini block, and I did Peter Pan. There is a separate video on this. Now, this was actually part of episode 6 for January 2024, and it was the Coloring with Us Coloring Roulette challenge that Disney Megs and myself both did. There were a few people, subscribers, that also participated, and I will have a gallery video of everybody's pictures in every quarter. So there's still time for you to join this challenge if you would like. Now, the challenge was to pick a page that was nostalgic and use the whole page with cross hatching. Now, it also said that we had to use gel sticks, and there was no way that we would be able to use gel sticks. So Amanda and I decided that we would allow fine liners. I actually don't really have any fine liners, but I did have Pitt Artist pens, so that is what I used to complete this. There is a full video on my attempts showing me how I completed this page. He ends up looking okay, even though he's got gray skin. We did have the right, at least mostly the right colors. Cross-hatching ended up being a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. So it was a fun video to do. If you want to check that out and have a good laugh, then by all means, it's there on my channel. There's a playlist for all the Coloring Roulette videos, and I'm looking forward to episode 7 in February. All right. The next book is A Million Llamas by Lulu Mayo, and this is still a fairly new book to me. I've only done a few pages, and I did chose this page to do on my own, so not a buddy color. The background is done with a few different colors of ink, and then the picture itself is done with both Equaline water-based markers, as well as some polychromos, some white glaze pen. I've got some iridescent medium where it's shiny, because I thought those were kind of like special marshmallows or something. And then we've got some green glaze for the little pit spots on the strawberries, and some metallic gel pen. So lots of different mediums, a little bit of fun glaze here and there, and some silver Signo gel pen as well. So just a fun, lighthearted page. I kind of felt in the mood. So there you go. Her pages are always so cute, and yeah, happy with these. Okay, Our next page is also from a Lulu Mayo book, and this time it is in A Million Cute Animals. This is the book I have chosen to complete or work towards completing this year. I had 49 pages to start, so after completing one page, now I have 48. It was a buddy color that originally was going to be for February, but both Cindy and I had some extra time, so this is Cindy, my buddy colorist. We did this page together, and I had pre-done the background because I am going away for February and March. I'm not taking all of my supplies with me, so I pre-did the background with some ink pads, and thinking that I would just finish this page in February. But then we ended up, Cindy did her page, so I'm like, well, I have a few extra days, so I did complete mine as well. And I used Spectrum Noir brush pens for the light pink area, and then I used Polychromos for the purple with some Pit Artist pens for the dark purple areas. I've got some acrylic, Treasure Gold acrylic for the gold paint on here, and I've got some gel pen, some glaze on his eyes. Yeah, just it ended up, I was a little bit worried with the colors that I had chosen until I put the rest of the colors down, because it kind of looked different, a little bit odd having the background totally done, because I don't normally do my backgrounds first, so it was a different approach to the page, but I am happy with how it turned out. And here is Cindy's page, and her page turned out wonderful as well. Very cute. She said she hadn't decided on her background, so she gave it to me at this point without a background, and that's totally fine. I have a few buddy colors set up in February in this book, and if anybody would like to buddy color with me in March or April, let me know. I am going to be taking this book along with this book with me on my travels, so I will have I will be coloring and filming whilst away, no fear about that. Okay, so our next book is Sea of Colors. This is a book that I have added to my 5 books to complete in hopefully this year. So right now, after the pages that I've completed, I have 25 pages left, so I think it's totally doable. I used a Sarah Renee Clark Color Palette 208, which was for Amanda Colors' AC Palette Challenge, so that worked out good. Materials used on this page were a Staedtler metallic pen in blue, so that's where this comes in, because it's a blue and inside the stars, and the rest are Inktense pencils, and I activated them with water, and so that went pretty smooth. Some of these smaller areas, it was a little bit more difficult to activate them, and I believe I did use a Tombow brush pen for the narrow areas, but really happy with how this turned out. I did want to try using Inktense on plain paper, so this was not treated paper. It is pretty crinkly, but that's okay. It was a good experiment, and I'm happy that I did it. So this is another use of the Sarah Renee Color Palette, and thanks to Amanda Colors for hosting this monthly challenge. The next completed page from Sea of Colors for this month was this page, and this was a buddy color with Jackie Conrad. So thank you, Jackie, for coloring this sea turtles and coral page with me. I did use a variety of items to do this. I've written it on the background to help me. I've got Daniel Smith watercolor ground to prep the paper. Then I used Equaline brush markers, Caron brush markers, Jelly Roll, and some Pitt pens. So it looks like a little bit of Jelly Roll to make it shiny on a few spots. I used a liquid pearl here for the pearl, so it's actually raised and a little bit shiny. So yeah, a fun page. It was nice, a little bit of glaze pen here. Nice to do. I made the eyeballs all a little bit bigger. They're normally a little bit smaller. And yeah, and the Pitt pens was the gray behind. Fun page to do. Happy to complete it. And here is Jackie's page. Thank you so much, Jackie, for joining me on Buddy Colors. And we've already started setting up some Buddy Colors for February, and I'm looking forward to those. My third and final picture for Sea of Colors for this month is this page right here. And I'm going to insert a picture of what I used to complete the page, because I did take a picture of it when I posted it. So you'll see there's a little bit of shine, and that is actually the eyeshadow. So see if it... And to complete this page, I used Ecoline brush markers, twin tone, Holbein pencils, some stickles, you can feel them, and eyeshadow, some gel pens and eyeshadow on the background, and a little bit of Winsor Newton iridescent medium, the pearl here. So tried to keep a limited color palette, and I think that it worked good. Happy with it. The pink here is also, I believe, yeah, it's the Ecoline brush pens. And those brush pens, this was not treated paper. So there is ghosting, but that's just okay, because at least it's one-sided paper. This page was actually the group buddy color for Amanda Colors. So she does Sea of Colors, and this was the group selection for the month of January, and that's why I completed it. So thank you, Amanda, for hosting a group color along, and that ends the 3 pages that I did. So now I have 25 left in this book, and I'm on my way to completing it. Still with small books. This is our last tiny book, and it is called Tiny Worlds by Matt Edwards. This was a buddy color with my friend Sherry, and we did the Snow Cone Ski Resort. I'm trying to use different pencil sets that I own, so I pulled out my Artex 126 pencil set. Also included on here are some gel pens, some sparkly gel pens, ink for the background, some stickles for some of the snow areas, and yeah, so there's some sparkle there. I had fun doing the trees with the snow, and I worked hard on making them all a little bit different, and so there was a lot on the page. And then I colored this like a vanilla with some pink accents, and then on this side it was white with some blue accents, so just to kind of keep it looking like snow but also looking like ice cream. Happy with how the page turned out. I love the soft background, and here is Sherry's page. Sherry and I have done a few pictures in this book already, and her pages always turn out stunning. So thank you very much, Sherry, and we will continue in this book later in the year. Okay, that's it for the small books. I am going to have to raise the camera up just a smidge, so let me take care of that. The next few pages are from Grains of Gold by Hannah Carlson. This is her compilation book. This is the only Hannah Carlson book I have, and happy with it so far. I did this as page because it had a gem on it, and I used this as my January Garnet Birthstone gem. It is covered in, I used polychromos on it, and then I covered it with glossy accents, and the also is some gold gel pen there. The rest of the page is completed with polychromos, a little bit of dual hybrid gold marker. I put some glossy accents on the little red beads as well, and we've got 2 different gold gel pens for the chain. And the background is Tim Holtz Distress Crayons. So the set of distress crayons that I have, happens to be handy, are these colors. So it's the pastel type colors, and I'm really enjoying how they lay down. I do like them. The gelatos that I have are also great, but it's kind of nice to have kind of a curated set that all kind of goes together. And so happy with this. There is a video step-by-step tutorial on how to color garnets, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I hope you are happy with this new series. I have already filmed the amethyst for February, just so I could get a bit of a jump on February's videos, and I'm really happy with how that one turned out too. So, and I'm happy to be actually working in this book because I'm not great at faces, and I think that hopefully faces and hair are not my my specialty or forte, so I will be learning and working on that this year as well while we are in this book. Okay, now the next is a double page spread, and there's pretty much every medium that I own was used to create this double page spread. Really pleased with how it has turned out. You will see a video in February on the completion of the crystal amethyst, and but the rest of the page has both some gel pen, some gel pen, some glossy accents. Every little item on here has metallic watercolor paint, and I used the FinTech watercolor paint. There is, so anywhere you see shininess, it's going to be the FinTech paint. There's a little bit of stickles on the bottom and a little bit of glaze. I used a little bit of Winsor Newton iridescent medium. I used Pit Artist pens. This here is actually Neocolor 1. So the blue and the pink and the darker pink are Neocolor 1, which I smoothed out with my Gamsol. This here, down here, is glaze, the gray glaze. We've got glaze for his legs, for the little spider guy. I was quite deliberate on my choices of color. The background is a whole variety of ink pads that I dry brushed on, and then after that I also did some gelato. So there's a little bit of gelato on here, as well as ink pads. So the gelato is definitely the gray along the bottom here. I came back at the end and did that, and then I also did some more pink up top. So just a lot of fun, and happy with how the glossy accents, I used that in a few strategic locations and those turned out good, but really happy with how the FinTech paint. So I'll just show you some of those. I've been buying them open stock when they've been on sale, so, and just kind of adding to my collection. And I also use the Clearo. So this will be the only part that is going to be in the video for February will be the actual crystal itself, and you kind of see the page when it's not quite at this completed state, obviously. But yes, happy with how this turned out. And this is my first, well, actually it's my second double page spread in this book. We did the Christmas mice previously, so that was this page here, but this was way more work and way more involved than the Christmas mice. So happy to get this book. This is one of the books that is coming with me to the States when I go to house sit for my sister. So if you will be seeing this book more in the next few months. The next book is The Ink House by Rory Dobner. It is one of my books to complete, and I did a few pages at the end of this. We now have 32 pages left in this book. So let me find all the pages. Okay, first off, I did this little page here, which didn't take very long. I used the red glaze for the crab, and I used polychromos for the porthole that he's in, or the circle. So that guy, well, I didn't really even count him as a page, but this double page definitely took a lot more effort. I used ink pads for this large area here, and I really like how that turned out. I also used ink for the clouds, and I kind of used, I just had a piece of cardboard that I had ripped up to make like a mountain kind of range, and I thought that actually looked like a nice kind of outline for clouds, so I used that for the clouds, and they're very light, and so I'm not sure if how much you can see them in camera, but then I did color all of the pencils, all of the butterflies with either polychromos pencils, or I've got some glaze, and also used a little bit of twin tone Tombow markers because they are some pretty tiny areas. So I've got some glaze pens. I went and I used a Jelly Roll black glaze, and I did some notes on there, and really happy with how this turned out. Is used polychromos pencils, like I said, for everything else. Now up here in each page, a tiny little bug reading a newspaper is on every page in this book, and sometimes they're so small that you actually kind of almost go right over him before you see him. But yeah, so this is 2 pages, and then I have another page that I did this one for Spicy Cat Colors. She does a Spicy Cat Buddies, and this month the word was cookies, and so I did this adorable hermit crab in a seashell dunking a cookie into a teacup. I used some ink on the bottom. I used polychromos pencils and gel pens, and really the gel pen detail on there is to highlight all of the, like the cherry blossoms. I'm not sure if you can see that, but pink teacup and cream, and a little bit of glaze for his eye area. So just a nice quick page. There's no bleed through, which we're really happy about. There's a little bit of ghosting from the gel pen, so I do have to watch. The Jelly Roll gel pens, the metallic ones anyways, seem to be ghosting through my pages this month, so that's something that I'm gonna have to watch. I've got a bunch of other things flagged in here. This is also a book that is coming with me next month, so you will see this book, a PDF that we did on the page for our weekly Wednesday, Whimsical Wednesday, and we did a wombat, and we had a fun video learning about the wombat, and I used the Copic Chow markers for the gray and a little bit of the brown, and then the rest was done with a polychromos pencil and a Tombow twin tone fine liner. And we were celebrating Australia Day, which was on January 26th, so we did a couple days ahead of time. We did a wombat for our W Wednesday. And I got this from the explorenature.org, and I hope you had fun with that. The last book that I had buddy color in was The Art of War, illustrated by Pete Katz, and this is the second time we've done a buddy color in this book, and it is with Maureen Morley, and she is a subscriber here on the channel. So hello Maureen, thank you so much for buddy coloring with me. We did this page here, and I used Finetech paint for the clouds, and I used Finetech pink for all of the cherry blossoms, so they'll kind of reflect a little bit. And then for the person himself, I used Create-A-Color Mega Color pencils, and I actually used the metallic one here. I used the Mega Color Create-A-Color pencils on him. Not totally thrilled still with my skin tone. He is Oriental, but I still think that I could work on that a little bit more. I am pleased with the background, and I did that with ink, and then I also brought in some pencil on top. So happy how that turned out. And here is Maureen's page. So thank you, Maureen, for buddy coloring with me. This is our second month in a row that we've buddy colored. We'll probably get back to this book in a little while. After I actually finished the page, I realized that a couple of pictures or pages ahead of it was actually a picture of the page itself, which I had not seen before. So I'm actually okay with the with his quite yellow skin versus mine. So actually maybe I'm doing okay with skin color. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this book. A next page, we're getting into a bit bigger books. So let me raise the camera again. The next page is from R.J. Hampson's A Frog's Tale, a Mr. Fogarty coloring book. This is my one and only R.J. Hampson book. I love his illustrations. Like everybody else, I would love better paper. But I was gifted this by Nicnaccolours, and I'm thrilled to have it. The illustrations of his are so super cute. I did go ahead and applied Daniel Smith watercolor ground to the paper first because I did want to use watercolor mediums on this page. And so all of the mediums on here are watercolor medium, and then at the very end there's just a tiny amount of gel pen and a little bit of glossy accents. But the watercolors that I used were Zig Clean markers, the brush pens, Albert Durr watercolors, Spectrum Noir brush pens, gel pens, glossy accents, and then after I was done, I came back in with some Neocolor 2 to darken up the bottom corners. I just wanted a little bit more of a darker area, but these areas here are the Spectrum Noir brush pens, and this blue in here and the greens, most of it is done with the Zig markers, and that's because the Zig Clean markers have such a fine brush tip that they work well. So happy with how this page turned out. Happy to have another page done in this book. This was the only other page I've done, and again I used Daniel Smith watercolor ground in it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep only using watercolor mediums in this book, but for now it's been working out. And there's no bleed through for the paper. The only bleed through is from me being messy on the sides, but otherwise the Daniel Smith watercolor ground really does allow you to use watercolor medium on your cheaper Amazon paper. So that is one way to get around it, and I just think he's just such a cute little character. So that's a page from A Frog's Tale. The next book I'll hold up at an angle just so there's no glare. It's World Flags Coloring, and we started our first World Flags series. I'm counting this only as one page. We did 3 different flags. We did the Australia flag, we did the Cuba flag, and then we did the India flag. And those were 3 countries that celebrated a national holiday in those countries in January. So happy holidays to all of you. I will be doing flags every single month in a video, and depending on how many national holidays there are in the month will be the number of flags that we color. So it'll be a quick color. On this one I used a Prismacolor blue, and it wasn't deep enough, so then I went over it with Pit Artist pen. So that's what this was. So it is extra thin paper. Again, it's Amazon printed, so it did ghost here. So I'm gonna have to be careful and maybe switch to a different medium and maybe just use pencils in the future, because I do want to see there's ghosting here quite badly. And this one I used the Equaline brush pens and a Zig Clean marker. So even those ones were ghosting through it. So it is just really thin paper, but it is interesting to see a colored image of the flag and a little bit of details about the country with each one. So that again is World Flags Coloring. I got this off of Amazon, and I look forward to learning more about the flags of the world due to the fact that it is an Olympic year, and I would like to know a little bit more about the countries I see in the Olympics. All right, next page is actually the February page for Frogs and Friends Color Along. It was my last page in the book. And I didn't realize it was going to be February, so I thought I had missed this earlier in the year. However, apparently not, but this is my completed page. I used some markers, and this sparkly guy here is my favorite, or my sage colored Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen. And then I've got some metallic paint on the little froggy here, a little bit of washi tape, and I drew some extra clouds in to just complete the page. This was my last page, as I mentioned, so at the end of February, I'm waiting till everyone else is finished. I will, on February 29th, I will have a completed flip through of this book. I have already purchased the next book, so volume 2, and ready to go with Amanda Colors and Disney Meg's group Color Along. This is not a book that I am bringing with me though, so I will have to do catch up when I get back. So this is kind of a chunky, hefty book because I have volume 1 and volume 2 together. So it's a pretty big book for me to pack along. So happy that this is done, and congratulations to Amanda and Disney Megs for doing a completed book with their Color Along. Now we are getting into the what I call 10 by 10 size books, and we have a couple of pages done, I believe, or maybe just a double page spread in Mouse Guard. Mouse Guard is also one of my books to touch. I have 76 pages left in it, so we're gonna be here for a while. And I did this part of it on our Whimsical Wednesday, and that is because this is a weasel, and so a W word. I used water-soluble mediums for the most part, but I also did something that I haven't done before in here, which is I used ink for the background. So I used ink here and also on the wood area, which was different, and also on the columns. So the wood, the columns, so quite a bit, because this is good paper, but it's not going to take as much water medium as we want. And I haven't been using any, haven't been prepping the pages at all. So what I have been using in here has been both the Albert Durr watercolors, as well as Derwent Graphitint and the Staedtler water-soluble graphite pencils. And you will see me do and then I also have a bunch of watercolors, and these watercolors were from the watercolors I used were the Prima Shimmering Lights. So I used a few of the different colors here. I used the silver, and then I used the gold, and then I also used the red, which was called Flare. So those are all watercolors. Used watercolor on the his sword, and then also on Saxton's sword as well. So the only place I used polychromos was I came in here and used a little bit of cream on the weasel's face just to lighten her up a little bit. But otherwise, there is a video on how I did the fur, and it took quite a while, but I am happy with the results, and I hope you enjoy the weekly Wednesday video for all things that start with W. We have a whole host of items that we've done this month. So you've seen a wombat, now you've seen a weasel, and you just never know what you're gonna see on Wednesday. And I think it's been a fun video so far. This here is the Derwent Graphitint, this nice red here. So yeah, really happy with how this turned out. The green up here is the Staedtler watercolor pencil, as well as this here. And those two brands of pencil, the Staedtler water tinted graphite pencils and the Graphitint pencils, work well together. Okay, my furnace is kicked on, and let's find another book. The next book is Erie's brand new book called World Literature, and I ordered this and received this, or purchased this, from Amazon Japan, and I have not yet cut the spine off. I plan on doing that at some point, but for now it's still a new book to me, and I completed this page Heidi, and I did this for the video that is celebrating the different zodiac animals. And for January it was the sea goat. I did not find a sea goat. I had quite the trouble actually finding any goats. I do not own any Camellia Angekova books, which a few people mentioned that she has some goats in hers. So I don't have any of those books. This is a goat from the movie Heidi. This is Peter, this is Heidi. They are in the Alps, I believe, and I completed this with Nicnaccolours pencils and a little bit of Artex paint pens, a little bit of gel pen, and that's it, and some ink for the sky around at the top. But yeah, had fun using different pencils and a little bit of glaze on some of these flowers here. There is a video on my channel of me completing the goat and starting on Heidi. So I did watch the movie before I started this book. So I found it actually on YouTube from, I think it was like a 1965 or 1967 movie version of Heidi. And it was a delightful story. I'm surprised that I hadn't read that as a child, but I'm happy with how it turned out, and I'm happy to have my very first page done in this book. I don't think I put it on Instagram for the Color Your Hoard, but happy to have it done, and I hope you are enjoying this new Zodiac series. Hopefully next month's will be a little bit easier to find than the sea goat. In fact, you are going to get a sneak peek right now of next month's. So Aquarius actually has 5 spirit animals that it could be. So I am going to do probably 1 or 2 of them, but I am not taking this book with me when I go, so I have pre-filmed this. This is Secret Worlds, magical coloring book by Stephanie Law. I have completed this page, and I did this because of the owls. And I'm going to show you on screen the picture of it before I did it. I'll do maybe a side by side. And then this picture of how I completed it. And there is, I'm not sure if it's going to show up, but there is some gold, treasure gold acrylic paint on a few of the highlights on the acorn type, or the pine cones. I have a little bit of bleed proof white for some stars. I also use bleed proof white on the actual owls to get the white feathers. I use Pitt Artist pens. I used an Artex paint pen for the black. And I still wasn't sure if this is actually a work in progress, if I should come in and work some more on the actual tree. But after so many hours of working on this, I'm calling it done for now. Whether I come back and work a bit more on the tree, I'm not sure, but I'll let you know if I do make any changes. I'm happy with how it is. The most part, I used the Polychromos pencils for the owls, and for the rest, I use Pitt Artist pens for all of the other things. I also use Polychromos for the pine cones. And no bleed through. Not that it matters, because this is a single-sided book. And I did not treat the paper. So I did put some washi tape down along the edge to give it a nice crisp border. And I'm really happy with the final result. There's a little bit of glossy accents on the eyes. And you will see which bird I fashioned this off of, and all of that in the video coming up later in February. So this is the owl for the Aquarius, and happy with how it's looking. Okay. For our craft section, I have decided that this sticker, Extremely Cute Animals, is really not coloring related, but it's kind of a craft. So I am counting it as one of my crafts. I did this adorable baby penguin, and he is super cute. I was turned on to or introduced to sticker books by Kathy from Spicy Cat Colors. So thanks, Kathy. These are adorable, and I did have a lot of fun. So that is another one completed in stickers Extremely Cute Animals. The next two items are diamond paintings. This is a 30 by 40 diamond painting that was actually a gift from Kathy from Spicy Cat Colors. So thank you very much, Kathy. It was a gift last year, and I was just getting around to doing it this year. It is of Stitch and his friend Angel, and he is holding a leaf as an umbrella, and there is the ocean behind him, and he's sitting on the sand. So I just thought it was a nice picture. I keep it hanging on my wall during the month, and I use these wooden magnetic poster hangers, and I hang it on the wall until after we have done this film, and then I will go put him in my large portfolio. So this took a couple of days, and it was a nice break from doing coloring page. Now I have switched the camera angle so that just so that I could get the picture looking this way. Okay, I'll put the camera back to normal and be right back. The last diamond painting item is this adorable little iris. This is a mini diamond painting canvas, and the canvas itself is quite sparkly, which is fun. It is a square drills, and it is by Paint Gem. It is from the floral edition. This floral edition comes with 12 different flowers, and it comes in a box. This is actually Paint Gem. I have an affiliate code with them where you can use JI Colourist for 10% off on anything you purchase. So that's always in my video descriptions. If you're ever looking at buying something from Paint Gem, save yourself a little bit of money. All right, that's it for my completed items. Let's go back to my book. So thank you so much for joining me this month. Thank you to those who buddy colored with me, and welcome to all of our new subscribers. So happy to have you here. I only ask once a month. If you enjoy what you're seeing on this channel, then please consider subscribing and becoming a fellow colorist. All right, I will see you in the next video next week. We've got lots coming for all of these new series that I've got going on in the month of February and beyond. So I look forward to that. I'm going to be away for the next 2 months, but like I mentioned, I am going to be taking a few books with me, a few coloring supplies, and we will be filming whilst we're out and about. I hope you have enjoyed today. I hope you have had a colorful January, and I look forward to February with you. I hope you're having a creative and colorful week, and I will see you in the next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.